Yeah. Yeah. Man, shit, nigga. And turn your head over, nigga. When Eve did to Adam, I just put my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like steps, and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. He gon' harm in one of us, he might lose his life first. Sucker up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers can they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jacob. So I war, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. As who run this shit, but their question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I came to do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitch about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Alpo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow son, yeah, this the river court. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fairview, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his gang, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy. All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life. I'm on rest for life, nigga, this a blood oath. Hey, yo, Madara, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the road. The world turned its back open. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I tell you once. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in them tricks. Just in the Lord, but please forgive me for the times that I did. Your brain is getting, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business, this loyalty, this damn sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind fit. They said there'll be many memories. I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like bad pal, but ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. You take that office or Dundee. They try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times, then it's death do us part. No. So how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't it like you think, nigga. I should want it. Own people go this home. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing, ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital Nines, murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck a raise it. I treated those watching life as it go by. Been giving mercy in his life, I don't know why. In pump smoke, never tried to. The dead at home, my brother be the dead and soldado. In the photo, salute my nigga, salute my nigga. Like how you stay focused, I told him. You my nigga, brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. Now never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she need me, said she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. So, how you feel about this truth out of show? This ain't the life you think, nigga. I should want even your own people gon' disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14:21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my people. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
Let's see just how it goes.
Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, save facility, hating, disfigure me. The claim that I'm lazy be killing me, maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom be busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback to bitch in his dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through in the damn my king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
All right, Shalom, Shalom. This is the ISUBK. We started out in 1 West, Harlem, New York, under Commander Johnny Yohana, and we teach that the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of the Bible. And tonight is the law class. And of course, as you read the title, it says, "Oh, backsliding Israel." I mean, why do you guys keep acting like dogs going back to your vomit? First thing we're gonna go to, as always, is the law class. The first thing we're gonna go to is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 17. And young man, once you get it, you can start reading. You know what I mean? Because here in the ISUBK, we dispel lies that's being taught to us inside the Christian church. You feel me? You know what I mean? Stuff that we have thought about the Bible has been wrong. So it's up to us in the ISUBK to teach y'all the truth. And one of those major truths is talking like the IS, like when somebody, Matthew 5 and 17 is the verse. Matthew 5 and 17. Let me get there with you real quick. And one of the very things we have to understand as Blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians is that we must keep the law. Like there isn't an option. You know what I mean? Like you don't have a say-so and if you want to do it or not. You have to do it. Or that means your life is going to hell. You know what I mean? The Most High is coming to get you for breaking that law. Read it when you got it, brother.
This is St. Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Or the what?
Or the prophets.
So Christ just said, think not that he's come to destroy the law or the prophets, right? So think not means don't let that even thought come to your head. You know what I mean? Don't let that thought even come to your head. Start read it from the top for me.
Think not that I come to destroy the law,
right?
Or the prophets.
Go ahead.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
But to fulfill. So if Christ says he didn't come to destroy, but to fulfill, why would you Christians say that the law is done away? Thought. Why would you say that thing's gonna do it? Matter of fact, can you read from the top? No, I just got the mic.
Yep. Think not that I come to destroy the law, right, or the prophets.
Or the prophets. Go ahead.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
He's not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So when it says destroy, he says not come to destroy. Why do you Christians always say that the law is done away with? That's what I was taught growing up. I was taught that the Bible was done away. I mean, it's like let me fix this computer real quick. I was taught that the laws were done away with, and we had to follow anything but have a good heart. You know what I mean? All we had to do was say Christ was our lover, our savior, you know what I mean? And things of those nature. Keep going.
For verily, I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass.
Till heaven and earth pass. Now, this is a very crucial part. You know what I mean? When we read the Bible, we have to read it with understanding and get the full context and understand what the scriptures is really saying. Keep going.
One jot.
Not one jot, right?
Or one tittle.
Or one tittle, right?
Shall in no wise pass from the law.
Shall in no wise pass from the law, right? So that means that one jot or tittle, that means no punctuation, no period, no comma, no sentence, no word from the Bible is going to be destroyed until heaven and earth pass. And as we can clearly see today, heaven and earth is still here. Keep going.
Till all be fulfilled,
right?
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
Whosoever shall break these least commandments, right? So I know a lot of you Christians have something that you think is a least commandment. You know what I mean? I know when y'all have them. You probably think that.
Oh, you going? Oh,
you guys get something to say?
Oh, I thought you were asking us. Sorry.
Oh, nah, slide it. Good. I ask you now, what's the least commandment?
Eating pork?
Absolutely. Listen, Christians don't think the dietary law exists today. They say it doesn't matter what we eat. They say Cornelius had a dream. I can eat all meats. You know what I mean? So I gotta pose a question for you, Christians. If you can eat everything, can we eat humans? Hey, all meat is good, right? Pause. They said everything is good. So shit. I might as well go. Get me a fucking foot. You know what I mean? Chop off somebody's arm. But now that I said that, it sounds crazy. We can't eat everything, right? So the good meats that Christ was talking about, that Paul, that Peter had in his dream, it was Paul, right? Paul that had a dream. It was Paul, right? Oh, the boy Cornelius, right? He had a dream. Cornelius had a dream.
Yeah, that was
Peter. Peter, right? So like, I knew it was Peter. Peter. Peter had a dream, right? He saw, all kinds of unclean foods. And Christians use that and be like, look, everything is clean. But that was talking about the lost Israelites, you know what I mean? Because the Israelites were only called unclean. It made them clean. Keep going out.
And shall teach men so.
And shall teach men so. So now, listen, when I was growing up in the Christian church, they taught me to eat pork. You know what I mean? A bacon sandwich, a bacon cheeseburger was delicious to me. You know what I mean? Until you found an alternative. Have you guys ever had beef bacon? Top tier.
Yeah, I've been trying to tell people it's wacky for a minute.
But
they're not listening. They stepping on the turkey. They got to try that beef bacon.
I know, right? Beef bacon is top tier. It's better than pork. You ever had it before?
Nah, I eat turkey. Turkey. I'm gonna try to beef bacon.
Top tier. It's kind of expensive though. You know what I mean? So when you buy it, you gotta savor every bit. You know, it's like $10 a pound or shit.
Dang.
Yeah, but beef bacon is so much better than pork bacon. You know what I mean? And it's lawful. You can have all the things you want in this life in the context that God provides for us. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to go against his law to enjoy the things we want to enjoy. Bacon is not that, pork bacon is not that important. It just isn't. Pork chops is nasty. Shrimp is disgusting. Clams is absolutely trifling. I don't know anybody who looks at a mussel or a clam and says, I want to eat this. When I seen it, I was absolutely disgusted. When I was in the world, I don't want to eat that. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to eat a clam? Like, this doesn't, it don't even look appetizing to me. You know what I mean? And those and stuff we're eating is used to cleanse the earth. You know, back when COVID, right, was real prevalent, people couldn't go out into the sea and catch clams. Do you know the water was bluer and more cleaner when we couldn't go out there and kill the things that's cleaning the ocean? Like, goddamn, man. Go ahead.
It's lucky. I used to wonder why they kept finding E. coli in the water all the time when I was younger. They would say that it was unsafe to swim in certain parts of beaches in certain parts of the country.
Right.
And lo and behold, what you're saying, they're eating all the animals that actually, filter and clean the water.
Exactly, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? We have a clam or a mussel that's eating all the bacteria out of the ocean, you know what I mean? So now E. coli doesn't infest your goddamn rivers, you know what I mean? But we kill all them. And can you imagine you're eating what they eat? You know what I mean? There's a clam or a mussel out there eating all that bacteria, then you put it in your plate. You know what I mean? And in some places, they don't even cook it all the way. Anyway, listen, that's one of those least commandments that people don't think is right, is the dietary law. But the dietary law is important. You know what I mean? And I learned to stop questioning God. You know what I mean? Why do you say we can't eat it? Because he said so. That's it. That's the only answer I need. You know what I mean? Why can't we interracial date? Because he says so. That's the only explanation I need. But for some of you other brothers and sisters that might need to go a little further, we can't do those things because of other nations doing it. And it's toxic to us. Keep going out.
He shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven.
You're going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. Who wants to do that? Who wants to be that? Do Christians even read this book? Do they even read this verse in the Bible? Like, what does it mean to them when it clicks? I'm going to make it my mission to go. Listen, I have a group chat with my family, right? I'm going to ask them these type of questions. Because I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta know what do they read this, and how do they interpret this exact verse? You know what I mean? Anyway, let's keep going on.
But whosoever shall do and teach them, right, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
That whosoever shall do and teach them shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. And this is why I love teaching the law class, and I love the ISUPK. Why? Because they're doing it and teaching it to us.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I didn't know that I had to follow under these laws when I was in the world. You know what I mean? I used to have dreadlocks too. Once upon a time. I'm thinking I'm the coolest nigga on the planet. All the women like me, you know what I mean? Everybody thought I was cool. Everybody dapped me up. Yo, I like your locks. I like your locks. Turns out it's a heathen custom. Coming from them nasty, disgusting East Indians. You know what I mean? Not to be confused with our First Nation men and women, brethren and sisters, but the ones over there that worship Hindu and stuff like that. That's their culture. You know what I mean? They're doing it for their God. And they're dirty people. I'm not dirty, so I don't want to do what they do. It's facts. You know what I mean? Keep going. Any more on that up?
For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Oh, very interesting verse. You know what I mean? Do you know what he means by that, young man?
I assume that the Pharisees were probably men like priests almost, right?
Right. There was priests.
Yeah.
So what's he mean when unless your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees?
That you basically can't.
So I get
That you basically can't.
you can't what?
Like your righteousness, for I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall no case enter. So these men, I don't know.
All right, no problem. So the Pharisees and scribes at that time were hypocrites. They was telling people, right? So they was telling people about the law, statutes, and commandments, but they themselves were not keeping it. So unless our righteousness exceeds them, we won't enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
And they was hypocrites. So they was teaching men to do it, but they themselves was not doing it. You know what I mean? And they was in seats of power too. So they was judging matters over like over like under the people under them. They were judging matters unrighteously. So that's all we had to do. Don't be hypocrites. You know what I mean? We say something, we be about it. What's that phrase? Walk it like I talk it. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Where you put your money where your mouth is or something like that. You know what I mean? Just long story short, don't be a hypocrite. All right, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Say what you're gonna do, and don't be a hypocrite about it. Now, hey, can you give me the book of Jeremiah, chapter 8, and we're going to go to verse 5. Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 5. I'm gonna get there with you. You know what I mean? Because there is something with our people Israel, man. No matter what era we are living in, we always turn our backs on the Most High. We always do it. You know what I mean? You can read it whenever you got it. Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 5. We're going to talk about being backsliders. You know what I mean? Because like I said, Israelites always went there, turned their back on the Most High. Even when we was in Exodus, right? As soon as we got into the wilderness, when Moses parted the Red Sea, as soon as we crossed over that, a couple of days later, we was back complaining. You know what I mean? Why we don't got this kind of food, this and that. You know what I mean? Like the Israelites are a murmuring and complaining people. And the Most High is tired of that. You got that verse for me out?
Come.
All right.
This is Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Why then is this people of Jerusalem slidden back by a perpetual backsliding?
Uh-huh. It says, why is this people of Jerusalem sliding back with a perpetual backsliding? We have been backsliding since Adam and Eve. You know what I mean? The Lord's chosen people have always done this. They went back, they went back, they went back. You know what I mean? Down to Nineveh, when Jonah went to Nineveh. You know what I mean? He's trying to preach this word. And Jonah was like, I don't want to do it. Most High said you got to go there anyway. Hard-headed and stiff-necked people we are. Read that for me again.
Why then is this people of Jerusalem slidden back by perpetual backsliding? They hold fast deceit.
They hold fast deceit, man. That means they got a strong grip on it. You know what I mean? Keep going.
They refuse to return.
They refuse to return, man. There's so many brothers that we have tried to minister to, that we have preached to, you know what I mean, out there on these streets, and they refuse to return. Your family, like, you can just talk to your family members and you guys know this. You know what I mean? Niggas don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear you stop eating pork, stop eating shrimp, you know what I mean? Stop having sex with these other nations, you know what I mean? What's some other laws out there? Stop voting. I mean, they break every law out there, man. Christmas, oh my God, how could I forget? I mean, the holidays, the idolatry, you know what I mean? They don't want to return to the Most High. You know what I mean? They don't want to. Why don't you want to be the Lord's special people? Why don't you? That's how deep we're in slavery you are. Go ahead.
That Salakia, that's exactly what I was going to say, because there's not, some, devil or oppressor saying, what you're saying. Now, if, Joe Biden or Donald Trump or any other famous, Edomite that was respected said that we were the children of Israel, we should stop, they probably would listen.
Absolutely.
But because it's coming from us, the message is devalued because the words are coming from a black face.
Exactly.
That's why. At least that's the way, I see it for some people.
No, you're absolutely correct in that. You know what I mean? Because our people are some house Negroes, man. And if master don't say it, they're not going to believe it. You know what I mean? And that's such a sad thing to be when you generally love your people. You know what I mean? And it's your own people fighting against this. You know what I mean? This is one of the greatest gifts that you could ever get, and knowing that you are a goddamn Israelite. You know what I mean? Knowing that the world belongs to you and you should be ruling it. Just imagine if we was ruling this planet. We see the amount of mercy that black people have now, the blacks and Hispanics have now. We always forgive the oppressor. All of our oppressors, we always forgive them. Now we always loving them and stuff like that. Always doing this. You know what I mean? They even prayed for Dylan Roof. And they get the cracker that shot up the entire church. They prayed and forgave him. That's why we should be on top and they should be at the bottom. And that's also why we're at the bottom and they're on top. Because we don't recognize who our enemies, who our real enemies are. Read that verse for me again up.
Why then is this people of Jerusalem slidden back by a perpetual backsliding?
A perpetual backsliding. We always backslide on the Most High, man. But listen, I read the stories in Exodus. You know what I mean? I'm reading Genesis. Can you imagine you being down there when the Lord split the Red Sea so you can walk on land, on dry land? You know what I mean? Like, and you've seen the plagues of Egypt come down and destroy.
You still got feet.
Right. And destroy the whole nation. You can look at when God killed the firstborn of everything living in Egypt. He killed the firstborn and they made a holiday about it called the Passover. And we're going to turn our back on that power. Sometimes I don't get it, man. Really be messing with my psyche sometimes. But just as Jeremiah said, we do a perpetual backsliding. You know what I mean? All right. Let's go to where do I want to go to now? So we're going to talk about a dog going back to his vomit and why that proverb is so relevant to the law. You know what I mean? But first, let's go to give me Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 26. That's Ephesians 5 and 26. And let me know when you get there, man. This is why it's important that we as Israelites continue to get baptized. You know what I mean? Not through John's baptism. I'm talking about Christ's baptism. The one baptism that will clearly cleanse you from your sins. You know what I mean? Talking about Christ's baptism. Salakia, give me John 3 and verse 1.
You want me? I can just hold the Ephesians for you.
Up the water.
Oh, I had to, oh, good.
You got the Ephesians?
Yeah, I was right there. Yeah,
And you got Ephesians too?
Concept.
yeah.
All right, so which one of y'all want to do John 3?
I can do John 3. Which one?
I
Verse
got
one.
Ephesians right here.
Verse 1. John 3 and verse 1.
You want that read first?
Yes, come on.
Let me get it real quick.
John 3 and verse 1. Let me get there on my computer.
Got you, sir. I'm there. I'm right now.
All right, go ahead. John 3 and verse 1.
The book of John, chapter 3, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews.
So this is giving you the context, right? Nicodemus, Pharisee, ruler of the Jews. Keep going.
The same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God.
Damn. This man named Nicodemus, right? He's with the Pharisees and Sadducees at the time. They know that Christ is sent from God. That's heavy. They know he's sent from God. Keep going.
For no man can do these miracles that thou doest, except God be with him.
Nobody can do these miracles, man. Nobody. Who else raised the dead out here? They ain't doing it. I mean, they're hypocrites. Keep going. Verse 3.
Verse 3. Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily I say unto thee,
Verily, verily, I say unto thee. That means, listen up carefully. Go ahead.
except a man be born again,
Except a man be born again,
he cannot see the kingdom of God.
he cannot see the kingdom of God. Verse 4.
Verse 4. Nicodemus saith unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born?
And that's the question that Nicodemus came to answer, came to ask. You know what I mean? How can you be born again? What do you need to be born again? You got the Ephesians 5 and 26.
Oh, 5 and 26. Right here.
1 second. Let me get there on my computer. Hold on 1 second. What's the lot here? 5 and all right, I'm there. 5 and 26.
This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26.
Right.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word.
Damn. Huh? Slocky. What's the question?
Oh, is that it?
That is it. You read it again for me?
That he might sanctify
Right.
and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. That's how we get born again. With the washing of water through the word meaning the word of God. You know what I mean? That's how we get cleansed through this thing. Now, can you, one of y'all give me John 15 and verse 3. 15 and verse 3. So that's how we get cleansed. We don't have to get dunked in water anymore to be cleansed. You know what I mean? That was John's baptism. We're in Christ's baptism. You know what I mean? We washed with the water of the word. We baptized. I was baptized when I came into the UPK. The brothers baptized me. I wasn't dunked in water. I was taught the scriptures. I was taught meat and milk. You know what I mean? And truthfully, when I was in the Christian church, when I was getting dunked in that water, and I came up, I was still a sinning ass nigga, to be real. You know what I mean? I went out smoking weed again. You know what I mean? Like I did all that shit. It didn't change my mindset at all. You know what I mean? It didn't do anything. Matter of fact, niggas get baptized every year. You know what I mean? How you get baptized every year for the same sin? You're doing it wrong. John 15 and 3.
This is John chapter 15, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
Now we are clean through the word spoken to us. That's how we get clean. You know what I mean? With the word that is spoken through us, through Christ. Us learning these laws, statutes, and commandments, that's how we get clean and stay clean. You know what I mean? Now let's go to Romans chapter 8. Romans chapter 8 real quick. You know what I mean?
So like, what was verse 1?
We're going on verse 5. Whoever got it can start reading.
John 15:5.
No, Romans 8 and 5.
Romans 8:5.
Whoever got it can start reading.
8 and 5.
Yeah.
Tom, I can look at it.
All right, you good.
The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
Right. So niggas that's after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. Right? So if somebody is lusting after women, that's what they're going to go after. You know what I mean? They're lusting after drugs, that's what they're going to go after. Keep going.
But they that are after the spirit, Salakia. But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
For to be carnally minded is death.
For to be what?
Carnally minded is death.
For to be carnally minded is death. You know what I mean? If you're still thinking like you're inside the world, that's a death sentence for you, man. That's a death sentence. Keep going.
But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
To be spiritually minded is life and peace. Listen, the law is spiritual. You know what I mean? This is not a carnal thing that we're doing. Keep going. Verse
7. Because the carnal mind is enmity against God.
The carnal mind is enmity against God. Listen, your mind and what we think to naturally do goes against Christ and what he's trying to teach. You know what I mean? He's against interracial marriage. He's against that. The alphabet community. You know what I mean? He's against these holidays that we celebrate day and night. He's against all that. And with that kind of mindset, you're going to be against Christ. Keep going.
For it is not subject to the law of God.
Right.
Neither indeed can be.
Neither indeed can be. Your mind can never be subject to the law of God. You know what I mean? Because it's constantly a battle with that. So with that being said, give me Romans 12, 1 through 2.
This is Romans chapter 12, verse 1.
Right.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God,
right,
that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice.
We present our bodies as a living sacrifice, right?
Holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
Right. God said this is our reasonable service. You know what I mean? This is something that we can all do. We have to present our bodies as a living sacrifice, and that's what we do when we come inside the UPK. You know what I mean? We get in there, we take that oath, we said we're going to serve the Lord. You know what I mean? Because that's what Christ did for us. He gave up his body for us. I mean, he died for the Israelites only. I mean, he died for our sins across the board. And that's our same thing, verse 2.
And be not conformed to this world.
Be not conformed to this world. You know what I mean? Since a child, the world is trying to shape us into what they want. You know what I mean? Like, just imagine if we was taught by our parents most of the time. I mean, if your parents were righteous, of course. You know what I mean? Things would turn out different for most of us. I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? Because right now, our parents were taught by the world. They was taught Christianity. You know what I mean? They was taught by Martin Luther King. So their minds are already against Christ. So that means they're going to shape us against Christ. And then when we get into the school systems, You know what I mean? What they teach inside these schools nowadays, what's on TV. The world is trying to shape us into something that's an abomination. Keep going.
But be ye transformed
Be ye transformed, right? Keep going.
by the renewing of your mind.
By the renewing of your mind. It all starts up here in the mind. That's where it starts. You know what I mean? Y'all all, I'm pretty sure everybody heard the phrase, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. This is how we fight now. You know what I mean? We had to get the minds of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians back on track with the mind of God. This is how we fight. Keep going.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable,
right?
And perfect will of God.
And perfect will of God. You know what I mean? This is God's will, that we come back to him. And this is why Christ did it, so we can come back to him. Now, let's jump to, let's go to 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 21. And whoever has it, they can start reading. 2 Peter 2 and 21.
So I'll take care of it.
Solid.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse 21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness.
Now, listen to this very carefully. This goes for people who come into the truth. They learn that they're an Israelite. They learn that they have to start keeping the law, and then they just disappeared. You know what I mean? I did that. That was one of my faults too. So I'm speaking about a personal thing. Keep going.
After they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them.
Damn. So after we knew the Bible, right? We turned from our holy commandment. After I knew what was right and wrong, I turned my back. Keep going.
Verse 22. But it is happened unto them according to the true proverb.
Until the true proverb, right?
The dog is turned to his own vomit again.
The dog is turned to his own vomit again. Do y'all know what that means? Rhetorical question. Do y'all know what that means? I didn't know dogs eat their own vomit. I did. I don't even like I like dogs looking at them, but I don't want it as a pet. And this is a reason why. You know what I mean? Have y'all ever seen a dog eat its own?
Yeah, my dog did it before.
Word?
And I had to yell at him and throw a flip-flop at him to get him to stop.
Yeah. I never knew dogs eat their own vomit, man. And that's what Christ is comparing us to when we go back on his word. So imagine you a nigga that, let's say you stop celebrating Christmas, right? You leave the truth, and now you go back to celebrating Christmas. He says you're like a dog going back to his vomit. Damn, that's a tough description. You know what I mean? I didn't know dogs eat their own vomit. I'm still stuck on that. When I was doing this class, I was doing my research on it. I was gonna play a video of a dog eating. I couldn't watch it. It's not a pretty sight. Like, god damn, that shit almost made me throw up. Watching a dog eat his own throw up almost made me throw up. And that's what Christ is comparing us to? A damn animal? You know what I mean? He's comparing us to an animal. Somebody get me Proverbs 26 and verse 11. Christ is comparing us to an animal that's going back to his own vomit. So just imagine you get cleansed, right? You come into the truth, you learn, you get cleansed. You leave and you go back to the same crap that was plaguing you in the first place. And I did a little bit of research on it, and I'm like, why do dogs do it? Like, what is the purpose of it? And in the most simplest answer, they like the taste of it. Yeah, it tastes good to them. They were lapping it up. You know what I mean? It's bits of beef and veggies and stomach acid all on the floor. They go and eat it up. Like, that's what Christ is comparing us to. Listen, we cannot turn our back on the Most High. Once we get here and once we know the truth, you're going to be a dog turning back to his vomit. Absolutely disgusting. You know what I mean? The Most High is so great in his descriptions. You know what I mean? He says, you are a dog going back to his vomit, man. Because it tastes good. You know what I mean? They're going back to Christmas because it tastes good. Some brothers and sisters, they get free from being the rainbow people, right? They get free from that group and they go back to that because to them it tastes good. You might be a nigga that got free from smoking weed and stuff like that, but you leave and you go back to it, it's because you think it tastes good. But the Christ called you a dog going back to his vomit. And he says this is a true proverb. So we all know there's a book of Proverbs. So once again, the apostles are quoting from the Old Testament because this is what they had. They had the Old Testament to read by as a reference. You know what I mean? Proverbs 26 and 11.
This is Proverbs chapter 26, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly.
So a fool returns to his folly, man. That is such a crazy description to me. Like, I don't know. I was thinking about that for like a couple of days, man. When I was first in this class, I said, man, I gotta do something on this joint.
Yeah.
He's like a dog going back to his vomit. That's still nasty to me. I thank God I don't own no pets. I can't do it, man. I'll look at him from afar, you know what I mean? I see him walking down the street. My neighbor got a dog. I go say hi to it. But if I own a pet and it throw up and it start eating, it gotta get out my crib.
So, like, what was the first one we read?
Oh, that was 2 Peter's 2 and 21. Uh-huh. Like a dog going back to his vomit, man. I'm gonna bring that on the street, man. Facts. When we go back to the camp, I'm gonna go send that on the street. So that's gonna be my go-to verse every time. Yeah. He's like a dog going back to his vomit, man. Don't be a dog, Israel. All right. Listen, there's nothing more important in this life than serving the Most High. There's nothing I heard that's so great. You know what I mean? There's nothing wonderful about it. All right. Give me the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 14. James 4 and 14, man.
What was the chapter one more time?
Chapter 4, and we're going to start at verse 14.
This is the book of James, chapter 4, verse 14. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow.
Right. So we don't know what's going to be on tomorrow. You know what I mean? And you want to turn your back on God tonight or tomorrow or the next day. You know what I mean? You want to turn your back on Christ? Keep going.
For what is your life? It is even a vapor.
Right. Christ said your life is nothing but a vapor. Uh-huh. You good. So imagine, listen, man, Christ telling you this. Imagine you going back to Christ. I mean, you turning back, you're turning your back on Christ, right? Being a backslider, the last minute. You know what I mean? You say, man, listen, you become weak, you become weak in your spirit. You know what I mean? And your carnal mind starts taking over. You know what I mean? Christ says this to you. Go ahead.
That appeareth for a little time.
Uh-huh.
And then vanish away.
And then vanish away, nigga. Your life is nothing but a vapor, bro. That's it. Your life is nothing but a vapor. You're going to be here today and gone tomorrow. And you're going to risk, don't take that risk of sinning. You know what I mean? So I also said he's be transformed with the renewal of your mind. Do not take that risk. Keep going.
For Verse number 15. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now ye rejoice in your boastings, and such rejoicing is evil.
It's like you good on that. So James, the book of James just said, you know what I mean, that our life is nothing but a vapor. You'll be gone, you'll be here today and gone tomorrow, man. Do not take that risk. It's like it. Somebody give me Matthew 12. I'm gonna start at verse 43. You know what I mean? This is old backsliding Israel. Just like Jeremiah said, man. The Israelites were continually perpetual backsliders. We cannot be that. You got that verse for me?
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse
43.
43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none.
Right. So after somebody gets cleansed, you know what I mean, gets baptized with the washing of the water by the word, right? That spirit goes out. Read it from the top.
When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places.
Yeah, that spirit's out there just wandering back and forth, back and forth. Keep going.
Seeking rest, and findeth none.
He's trying to find a new spot to go. He's trying to find a new soul to go capture. You know what I mean? Something else he can infest with. Go ahead.
Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out.
So that unclean spirit is going to come back to where it once was. You know what I mean? So once we get delivered from something, once we get purged from our sin, right? Something that has been plaguing us for a long time, just know that that spirit is going to try to come back to us tenfold. You know what I mean? Keep going.
And when he is come, he findeth it empty,
right?
Swept and garnished,
right? Because now you're a whole new person. You know what I mean? You ever seen something that was really dirty and then you clean it up and it's like, this looks brand new? That's what happens when an evil spirit leaves. You know what I mean? You get yourself cleaned up and it looks brand new, right? 45.
Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself.
Right. So now instead of that regular spirit coming back, he's coming back stronger than ever. You know what I mean? That spirit's coming back stronger than ever. It's coming with a group of them. It's coming with a group of people. You know what I mean? A group of spirits. Keep going.
And they enter in and dwell there.
Right.
And the last state of that man is worse than the first.
Right. The last state of that man is worse than the first. So now you're even worse off. So once you get cleaned up, right, and you turn your back on the Most High, you know what I mean? That spirit's coming back even stronger than it was before. So now your weed habit's going to be even harder to kick. You know what I mean? You feel what I'm saying? Now your habit's going to be even harder to kick. Now whatever sin that you're addicted to is going to be harder to kick that sin off again because you turn your back on the Most High. Is there more to that?
Even so shall it be unto this wicked generation.
Even so shall it be to this wicked generation, man. Listen, as I always urge brothers and sisters, man. Once you take this oath, it's game time. You know what I mean? Even as a trooper, even as when you first hear about the truth, that's when Satan is really trying to come at you. You know what I mean? He's really trying to come at you. He wants you to fall. Because once you get purged from something, whatever you got purged from is coming back for you. You know what I mean? You had like if you was like a sex addict or whatever, you know what I mean? Just know that those spirits is coming back for you and they're coming back stronger than ever. But you have to be strong enough to fight that. You know what I mean? You have to be strong enough to fight it. And you can only do it around your brothers. You know what I mean? Also, our brotherhood is very important because we hold each other accountable. You know what I mean? I get held accountable. I'm kind of lazy. You know what I mean? And I get checked all the time. That's one of my vices. I always get checked. You know what I mean? Always come back. All right, let's go to Let's go to Romans 10 and 21. You know what I mean? Romans 10 and chapter 21.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 21.
Right?
But to Israel he said, all day long I have stretched forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people.
Right. So once again, Paul, he's quoting from Isaiah, which means Isaiah. You know what I mean? He says, all day long have I stretched forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people. You know what I mean? Christ and the Most High is constantly like this. Just come back. But as we read in Jeremiah, we're perpetual backsliders. You know what I mean? We always take our hand back. Like, man, I'm gonna walk this way. You know what I mean? Christ is trying to lead us one way, and we go the opposite way. He says, all day long I have my hand stretched forth to a disobedient people, a gainsaying people, man. You know what gainsaying means? Nah. It's like, that's like somebody that's always wants to contradict you and oppose you. You know what I mean? So when we say, when we read in the Bible where he says he hates Esau, they say, no, he loves everybody. That's a gainsaying ass nigga, you know what I mean? Right? We don't want to be like that. Constantly, he says he has his hand stretched forth to us. I mean, to a disobedient, gainsaying people. Give me Isaiah 65 and 1. He says, all day long to a disobedient, gainsaying people, man. Because Israelites truly are some gainsaying people. You know what I mean? A bunch of hecklers in that crowd. I mean, my family, I always talk about my family, man. Yo, they had sent me this video of this Edomite talking about how the Israelites is wrong, man. Yeah, go ahead.
So, like, I know that irritated you to the core.
Oh, man. Hold on. I'm gonna show you this joint real quick, yo.
If I could, while you find it,
Yeah.
It's funny how, you know, they will openly search, and when I say they, not just, you know, your personal family, but people will, like, openly search or like vigorously search for stuff, but they wasn't searching to prove, you know, if they were right in those scriptures all along. When you tell them something new and catch them off guard, they don't want to even give credit.
Not at all.
But yet still, to stay in the lifestyle you want to stay in, you'll try to look up a video to justify it.
It's crazy, man. Cause I was actually done talking to my family about it. You know what I mean? Like, I was chilling for a little bit. You know what I mean? I wasn't going on a rampage no more. You know what I mean? Messing with them. But my cousin, he sent me this story. This guy's name is Blake Martin. It's a cracker with like tattoos all over his face. You know what I mean? He's talking about how the Israelites is wrong. Do you know what verse he went through to prove that Israelites were wrong? This devil went to Romans. Hold on, let me get it real quick. First. Oh, because we got
because we were holding Isaiah 65 and 1.
Yeah, we gotta do Isaiah though. Matter of fact, yeah, let's do this real quick. Hold on, let me get my joint real quick because this computer's always acting up, man. It's on irking me. So this devil goes to get my Bible real quick. Romans 9, right? And he's reading out of like I don't know what kind of translation he was reading, but it wasn't the King James, right? So he reads Romans 9, where it says, matter of fact, I can just play this joint real quick, yeah.
Right here, this person is fake Hebrew Israelite, and the color of their skin makes them righteous. The color of their skin makes them a child of Abraham. Well, y'all better quit coming to Blake's page thinking that the color of somebody's skin matters whatsoever. I'm going to teach you a lesson here.
This heathen right here
Brush his beard off, take you to school.
is a devil.
What does that say? It is not as though God's word had failed, for not all who
Romans 9 and 6. So this devil starts off at Romans.
Check this out.
He starts at Romans 9 and 6. You got it for me? Go.
Romans 9 and 6.
Yeah.
I'm there.
All right, go ahead.
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 6. Not as though the word of God hath taken none effect. For they are not all Israel which are of Israel.
Right, verse 7.
Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Right. This is where this devil went to. This is where he went to. And I'm sitting here talking to my cousin. I was like, all right, cool. Did you read verse 4 and 3? I asked him that. Did you read verse 4 and 3? Have you ever read that verse before?
No.
You got it with you?
Oh, I have it.
I can read.
All right, bet. Hold that, Isaiah. Romans 9 and 3, right?
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ.
Right.
For my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
For my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. You know what I mean? My cousin accused me of skipping verses, but he didn't accuse this cracker of doing it. You know what I mean? This cracker went straight to they not all Israel would say they are Israel. But I told him, I said, listen, read chapter 9, 3 and 4. Read verse 4.
Verse 4.
Right?
Who are Israelites?
What?
To whom pertain?
No, it's like who?
Are Israelites.
What?
Israelites.
Edomites.
Israelites.
All nations.
Israelites.
Dirty ass Hindus.
Israelites.
You know what I mean? Dirty Africans.
Israelites.
Exactly. Who are Israelites? Keep going, man.
To whom pertaineth the adoption.
The adoption. So, hey, whenever you see something in the Bible that says the adoption, who's it for?
The Israel.
Go ahead.
And the glory.
And the glory. Israelites.
And the covenants.
Israelites.
And the giving of the law.
Israelites.
And the service of God.
Israelites.
And the promises.
Israelites.
Who are the fathers.
Like it. Hold on. This is one of the most important part, right? Who are the fathers? Keep going.
Of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came.
As concerning the flesh, Christ came. That's who Christ came for. Listen, man, you're going to listen. Once you get deep into this, you're going to have crap like this pop up, man. Go ahead.
Salakia, once you broke it down for the the brother, what did he say?
Oh, I didn't respond to him yet because he took like 3 days to respond, so I was going to take 4 days to respond. You got to be petty like that, you know.
I know, like you petty.
Exactly. But I had to open up. I read it now. I had to open up to get this video, so I'll probably respond to him tonight.
So color right here, this person is painting for Israelite that makes the color of their skin makes them righteous.
This crazy to me, man.
If I could,
yeah, go ahead.
What's so crazy is what the devil is saying right now to try to make what we're saying null and void when he says the color of our skin.
Right.
We don't say the color of our skin.
Bingo.
We say that who our fathers are, because there's brothers that are, from very light to very dark.
Exactly.
There's brothers who, unless they tell you what their nation is, you wouldn't know.
Exactly.
So we're not going off of color. We're going off the fact of what the curses are saying about our people, who our people are. So that devil is completely off base.
Exactly. Because that's all they hear when we say, that's all they look at, because that's what the world is taught, is color. We're talking about bloodline. Right. You know what I mean? Like we're not a Jew because I'm black. You know what I mean? Africans are black. East Indians are black. The Chinese is black. It's like they all got melanin inside of them. We're not saying that because of that. We're saying because, listen, my ancestors came over here in cargo slave ships, what was prophesied in Deuteronomy 28:68. We would come as slaves. You know what I mean? We were scattered to all nations of the earth. You know what I mean? And I looked at a map of the transatlantic slave trade. We were scattered everywhere. That's why we say we're the Israelites. You know what I mean? Not because of skin color. Like if anybody sees me and both my brothers, right? I got my younger brother. He's dark skinned, and I have an older brother who's light skinned, and I'm brown skinned. I'm coming in the middle. You know what I mean? But all three of us are 3 different shades of black. But we all got the same father. You know what I mean? So this is not about race. Let's continue what this devil was talking about, man.
Nor because they are his descendants, are they all.
Listen to this cracker, boy.
On the contrary, it is through Isaac that your offspring will be
And he says through Isaac, through our offspring. Okay, he used, oh, see, I'll reset it again. All right, I'll reset it again by accident. I'm about to go through all that. You know what I mean? But yeah, but then he went down to verse 7, right? Where it says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Hey, you probably don't know this, but how many children did Abraham have?
I don't know.
You don't know? He had 8 children. Only Isaac was chosen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Only Isaac was chosen. So even when the cracker is reading this, he's wrong in his interpretation. I mean, because out of Abraham's sons, only Isaac was chosen, right? And only Sarah had the promised seed. And that's what this is talking about, man. Let's go to verse 8. You got it, Paul? Where you want to go?
Sorry, I got it. Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 8. That is they which are the children of the flesh. These are not the children of God, right? But the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
But the children of the promise are counted for the seed. Isaac was the seed that had the promise. Ishmael didn't get nothing. He got blessed, but he didn't get the promise. You know what I mean? Ishmael was blessed with 12 sons, and he's going to be a great nation, but he does not have the promise. You know what I mean? Just like in Romans 9 and 4, we pretend the adoption, the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, the service of God, and the promises. We have that, right? And Salakia, can you jump down to verse 25?
Verse 25.
Keep going.
As he saith also in OC.
Oh my goodness, Salakia, read verse 24. My bad.
Verse 24. Even us, whom he hath called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
Damn, this is where he went to. And I keep trying to tell y'all, I forget what version of the Bible he was reading, but it was not King James. This is some gay ass shit in there. I hate it so much, right? He went to Hosea 1 and 10 after he read that. Word. He went to Hosea 1 and 10, right? So after it's like, he reads verse 25.
Verse 25. As he saith also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved.
Right. This, after he said that, he said, let's go to Hosea to see who Hosea is talking about. I couldn't believe myself. This cracker just cut his own self in his own logic, man. Let's go there real quick. Hosea 1 and 10.
I actually have that right here.
Oh, where does Bond? Go ahead.
This is Hosea chapter 1, verse 10.
Start at 9 for me.
Verse 9. Then said God, call his name Lo Ami.
Lo Amai.
Lo Amai. For ye are not my people,
right?
And I will not be your God.
Right. He's talking about Israelites right there. For anybody who doesn't know, that may be new watching this class, he's talking about Israelites right there. The Israelites at that moment, they wasn't called God's people. You know what I mean? And this is why Paul is quoting Hosea 1 and 10, because he's talking about Israelites, because the Israelites were cast off from the Most High, and we were no longer called his people. We were called Gentiles. That is a Gentile breakdown. Go ahead.
I know in the Apocrypha Second Esdras, he talks about how he was going to give all the promises, all the new covenant to new people that had not seen prophets, have not had any, I'm paraphrasing, any reconciled knowledge of grandfathers, all that. He's saying he's going to give that to a new nation of people that have not seen me, heard me, or the prophets, and those are going to be my new people. I have it highlighted in Esdras, but I ain't going to try to say that. But yeah, he brought that out in Esdras too.
Yeah, it's heavy. You know what I mean? Because listen, the Bible lines up with itself. You know what I mean? The Apocrypha lines up with the Bible. It all goes in a perfect order. Were you finished? Did you read 10 in Hosea?
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
Yet as a number of the children of Israel, man. Don't let no devil try to play you, man. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know what I mean? This book is given for us and only us. You know what I mean? I don't care how many crackers try to cleave They want to cleave so bad. You know what I mean? But he's just going to be another slave like the rest of them. That's his future. All right. Does it? Go ahead.
Through the Spirit, I found the verse in 2nd Esdras.
All right. You want to read it?
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 35. Your houses will I give to a people that shall come, which not having heard of me, yet shall believe me, to whom I have shewed no signs, yet they shall do that I have commanded them. They have seen no prophets, yet they shall call their sins to remembrance, and acknowledge them. I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness. And though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the thing that I say. And now, brother, behold what glory, and see the people that cometh from the east, unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Oseas, Amos, and Micah, Joel, Obadiah, Jonas, Nahum, Habakkuk, Sophonius, Zechariah, Malachi, which is also called the angel of the Lord.
That's a tough precept, huh?
Yeah, that was the end of that one. Yeah. Thank you.
What verse was that again?
That was the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 1, verse 35 through 39. 35 on to the next chapter. Yeah.
I see it. That's solid. Excellent precept, huh?
Thank you.
All right, now that we had that little intermission break, go back to Isaiah 65, you know what I mean? Verse 1. And we was talking about, we was talking about being the gainsaying people, you know what I mean? Because in Romans 10 and 21, it's like can you give me Romans 10 and 21? We're going to read that one first, then we're going to go to Isaiah 65. You know what I mean? We was talking about being the gainsaying type of people. You know what I mean? Being the gainsayers.
The book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 21. But to Israel,
right,
he said, all day long I have stretched forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people.
Right. It says, all day long have I stretched forth my hands to a disobedient and gainsaying people, man. And that's how we got on a topic about my cousin, because he is a disobedient and gainsaying brother. You know what I mean? To send me this video of a devil trying to teach me the Bible. You know what I mean? That devil should go look up Thor and Zeus and stuff and be, you know what I mean, and go be with them. You know what I mean? And go his Norse gods. You know what I mean? Leave the Bible and my God alone. Jesus Christ. Now, Paul was quoting from the Old Testament. Matter of fact, can you read verse 20 where he talks about Esaias?
Sorry. But Esaias is very bold.
Esaias is very bold. We should be just like the prophets, bold in what we talk about, bold in what we preach. Go ahead.
And saith, I was found of them that sought me not. I was made manifest unto them that asked not after me.
Right.
Verse 21. But to Israel he saith, all day long I have stretched forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people.
Exactly, to a disobedient and gainsaying people. Young man, you got that verse in Isaiah for me? 65 and verse 1. 1 second, let me go on my computer real quick. Isaiah. Salakia. Being lost in this computer. 65. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 1. I am sought of them that asked not for me.
Right.
I am found of them that sought me not.
Right.
I said, behold me, unto a nation that was not called by my name.
You know what's crazy? That verse in Esdras you just pulled goes with this verse right here. I even peeped, man. That's the Spirit of the Most High. I appreciate it. Go to verse 2.
I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people.
Unto a rebellious people, man. Listen, I keep trying to reiterate this, man. the apostles, they taught from the Old Testament, man. They always reference the Old Testament into their teachings. Here we have in Isaiah where he's saying he has spread out his hands. All day long, the Most High has his hands out to a disobedient and gainsaying people, man. Since Genesis, man, since Adam and Eve, all the way to Moses, man, when we crossed the Red Sea, up until Jeremiah, when he called us backsliders, man, up until Isaiah, when he said, not no people no more, and to Hosea. Finish that verse for me.
Which walketh in a way that was not good, after their own thoughts. A people that provoke me to anger continually to my face.
That continually provoke him to anger, man. Once we do these things that we're not supposed to do, we're provoking the Most High to anger. You know what I mean? That's a scary thought, man. Keep going.
That sacrificeth in gardens and burneth incense upon altars of brick.
All right, that's enough of that. So in closing, you know what I mean? Don't be a dog going back to his vomit. That is nothing we want to do. Once you get cleansed from your sin, do not go back to it. Because it's going to be like 7, just like in that book in just like that the parable in Matthew, right? 7 more spirits are going to come back stronger than ever. We have to stay vigilant. We have to be strong. We have to be sober. You know what I mean? And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Preaching Officer for all.
Most High Christ. All right, this is the ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister enters into the school, they are off limits and they are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. And that off limits is for 6 months. After that 6 months, if a brother or sister has a particular interest in a person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Next, tithes, which is a commandment, which can be found in Numbers 18 and 21, and also Malachi 3, 8 through 10. It means a tenth, which is ma'ashera, a tenth in Hebrew, which is 10% of every penny of any increase. We also have a priest fund, which can be a donation. It is not mandatory, but it is definitely appreciated. And I always say, you know, brothers do enjoy a nice bottle. And it is a free will offering. Also, our up and coming holy convocations tomorrow and also Friday is the Feast of Purim. That can be found in Salakia, let me see. That can be found in Esther 9, 20 through 31. So again, that's the 22nd and the 23rd this February. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, remember to wear all black boots, all black pants, shirt, headband, or scarf. And with that being said, Men of Israel Amidim, which means to stand. Men of Israel Amidim Shabbat, Amidim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakathon, Yajimatah. Sorry, we're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Sisters, stand. Men of Israel, we're going to turn and face the sisters. Men of Israel, Amidim Shabbat, Amidim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alatham, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Yajimatah. Class dismissed.